Now you are going to create the rest of the pages that are going to be in your app. You're going to create a new slide for each category you have on the table of contents. So remember, we ended up with 4 different ones, so we're going to have 4 slides, one for each of these, okay? If you had more than that, then you would create more than that. So we have 4. So I'm going to come down here like we did a while ago and go slide, new slide, and there it is. And if I want, I can keep doing that, slide, new slide, slide. Or I can do this redo button, and it'll do it again and again and again for me, okay? So there's my 4 slides. Now remember, on each one, you're going to want to get rid of these, unless you want to type in them right away. What you're going to do on each of these slides is put your title at the top, okay? So remember, we have one for chess, board games, video games, and animation. So I'm going to go on this one. I'm going to put chess. This one I'll put board games. This one I'll put video games. And this one I'll put animation. Okay, so now we have our ones that will go with each one of those. Okay, and what we're going to do is include any information or images that we want on each of these slides. Okay, so for example, I may want to include things like, let me make it bigger so that while I'm typing you can see it. I may want to include things like location, date and time, sponsor, like the teacher that sponsors it, the location, the date and time, the sponsor, and maybe a description of the club, okay? So for location, maybe you can type in room 303. For date and time, you can say like Mondays, 4 o'clock to 4:30, sponsor Mr. Smith, and for description, just what is this about? This club is for people who already know how to play chess or have never played it before. Come and have some fun as we learn together. Okay? Now you can do some things like you can start messing with this, like you're going to want that bigger, right? We're probably going to want that like that. Probably this whole thing, because you have a whole page, right? So you want to make all this probably a little bit bigger. So you kind of mess with it how you want. You might want to make like each thing like this location. You can make it bold. Each of these little headers, bold. Okay? Just so it looks nice and neat. Okay? And then the next thing you're going to want to do is add a home button at the bottom. Because if you've ever noticed, whenever you use an app, there's always a home button to take you back to the table of contents every time. Okay, so the way we're going to do it is just like we did a button on at the beginning back here when we made this button. We're just going to do the same thing here. Okay, we're going to say, oops, chess. We're going to go insert a shape. We're going to decide what kind of shape. Let's just stick with the same one we used a while ago. Draw it, and then on the inside of it, we're just going to type home. Now, obviously much too small. Let's go make it much bigger. Maybe that's too big. 72, that'll work. Okay, we'll grab this and go like this. Then we can grab the whole thing and move it till it's like in the center. Okay, and now we have a home button. There's your first page. You could, if you wanted to, also add a picture. We could go here and copy the chess picture like this, copy, and go down here and put it on this page as well so that we have a chess picture. You're going to do the same thing with the rest of these, okay? With the board games club, with the video games club, with the animation club. This is my idea. Maybe your app is totally different. This one's just about the clubs that meet. Maybe you have a totally different idea. But for each of these pages, you're going to need to put your title at the top like this, and then you're going to need to include any information you think people will need to know about that thing, and make sure there's a home button at the bottom. Later on, we'll show you how to link the home button and all of that.